Here's our science critic. Okay, we'll get to him. Okay, and here it is. He said that essentially he said that magnetism has been explained by our great white fathers. Let's find out if that's true. Give me a second here. Okay, here it goes. Listen carefully. The questions and issues to be addressed in this rebuttal include: does the mathematical establishment have any idea whatsoever what physical mechanism underlies magnetic attraction or repulsion? And do the mathematicians have an explanation of the causes that underlie magnetism, or merely a description?
Well, that comes down to magnetic domains. When magnetic domains are aligned, they produce a magnetic field. And when you produce a magnetic field, that can exert a force on other materials. Yes, magnetism is a difficult thing to understand. It can seem like magic, but there are rational explanations for it.
Do the mathematicians have rational explanations for it?
Wait, he didn't explain it?
No, he didn't explain. He just said, "Oh, there are explanations out there." Okay, let's find out. Let's find out. And I'm going to just bring testimony here. Okay, I'll let the mathematical physicists tell you in their own words. Okay, here's the first one. This is Mr. Richard Feynman. Some of you know him. He was a Nobel Prize, 1965? And this is what Mr. Feynman had to say about how much he knows about magnetism. And I think some of you heard this, but somewhere. But here it is again, one more time. Here it goes. Listen carefully.
If you get hold of two magnets and you push them, you can feel this pushing between them. Turn it around the other way and they slam together. Why are they doing that, or how are they doing it?
You're asking...
I must say, I think that's a perfectly reasonable question.
Of course it's a reason. It's an excellent question. Okay? But the problem that you're asking, you see, when you ask why something happens, how does a person answer why something happens? Now, when you ask, for example, why two magnets repel, there are many different levels. It depends on whether you're a student of physics or an ordinary person who doesn't know anything or not. If you're somebody who doesn't know anything at all about it, all I can say is that there's a magnetic force that makes them repel, and that you're feeling that force. I'm not answering your question, but I'm telling you how difficult the why question is. You have to know what it is that you're permitted to understand and allowed to be understood and known, and what it is you're not. Well, I'll just have to tell you that's going to be one of the things you'll just have to take as an element in the world, the existence of magnetic repulsion or electrical attraction, magnetic attraction. I can't explain that attraction in terms of anything else that's familiar to you. So I'm not going to be able to give you an answer to why magnets attract each other, except to tell you that they do. But I really can't do a good job, any job, of explaining magnetic force in terms of something else that you're more familiar with, because I don't understand it in terms of anything else that you're more familiar with.
Okay, so that was a great explanation by Mr. Richard Feynman, how a magnet attracts and repels another. Great explanation. Didn't you think so? And so I don't know what this fellow's talking about, because Richard Feynman didn't know that in 1965. Here is another fellow, and he's from UCLA. This is today, okay? And this is the explanation, quotation on that, of how a magnet attracts another, okay? Listen carefully here. Give me a second.
Could it be that the electrons orbiting the iron atoms are the net cause of magnetism? That is, could it be that circling electrons are causing the magnetic field? It was discovered that electrons had a property called spin. That is, the electron was spinning as it circled the nucleus. It's the alignment of these electrons' spins that results in the magnetic properties of iron.
Okay, so what did he say? He says the only reason that a magnet attracts another is because the electrons spin. Okay, so the electrons spin. How does that make one magnet attract another? He never explained. He just says the domains are aligned in each magnet. Okay, he said the electrons spin in each magnet. Okay, how does that produce attraction? So he never explained how a magnet attracts another, just like Mr. Richard Feynman said. So this science critic, he doesn't understand that. He thinks he's got an explanation, or that there must be an explanation out there. No, they don't have explanations. Not a single invisible, intangible process, right, out there, or phenomenon out there, can be explained by any mathematician on Earth, and has never been explained in the last 3,000 years. The only way you're going to explain it, if you introduce the invisible, intangible objects that mediate those transactions. Period. And if you do not think that there are invisible, intangible objects out there that serve as mediators between objects, meaning you're going to do action at a distance, all you're doing is black magic. You're saying this one moves here and it moves the other one over there without anything in between them. Simply what? Because you can't see or touch it. And that's the situation right now. And that's why these people cannot explain it. And that's the only reason.
To.
Yeah. No, because they're not into that business. They're in the business of doing equations. They think that's science.
Well, really, they're in the business of dangling keys in front of you with authority, making you think that they explained it, and saying, "Oh man, they must have." It sounds like they understand it because I'm too dumb to.